Hello everyone, my name is Super, Destiny Enthusiast, and today I have a build to showcase for you that will allow you to one-shot any champion without needing to stun them in lost sectors, GMs, raids, and other activities. There are 4 ways to perform this build, and I'll be going over each of them. 2 of them require Cryosthesia, the Stasis sidearm, and 2 of them do not. But let's break it down first before we talk about each different version. Okay, for this build, you're going to want to be on Top Tree Sunbreaker, specifically so you can use your hammer to shoulder charge the champions. It's important to be on solar, and I'll get to that in a moment. Let's get into the mods. For mods, you're going to want to put on Protective Light for the resistance, Thermoclastic Blooming to create orbs of light on a melee kill, along with Well of Ions to increase your melee damage by 30% whenever you pick up an Arc Elemental Well. Then put on Taking Charge to become Charged with Light on an orb pickup. Then the most important mod of this build, Overcharge Wellmaker mod, which will allow you to create 2 Arc Elemental Wells on a finisher kill. You don't even need to be on an Arc subclass for this to work. Then you want to put on at least 1 Invigoration mod to help with your melee recharge rate. Then the last mod you'll want to put on is Withering Heat, which will increase your damage to champions by 30% whenever you do damage with your solar ability to them. And if you're dealing with overload champions, then I would recommend you put on Thermoclastic Strike to recharge your melee instantly whenever you stun an overload. If you aren't dealing with overloads, I recommend you put on Radiant Light instead. Now, for exotics, you're going to want to have on Paragon Greaves, which will increase the damage of your shoulder charge while you're airborne by 6 times. As for Cryosthesia, just get a kill with it to activate its special freezing shot, and that's all you need to do. So, how does this build work? Well, there's a few ways this build works. You can actually be super lazy about this build, so I'll explain in letter form as there's a few different ways that it actually performs. Let's start with A. Version A is when you throw your grenade at a champion to apply the debuff from Withering Heat, then shoulder charge it with Greaves to kill it. This is the lazy version, and may not always work, allowing you to have to use a finisher to finish the champion off. Version B is when you get a finisher kill, picking up the Arc Elemental Wells, proccing Well of Ions, then yeeting your grenade at the champion to apply Withering Heat, then shoulder charging with Greaves to kill it. The only time this will not kill the champion is if you aren't airborne when you activate your shoulder charge. This is also the version that doesn't require Cryosthesia. Version C, you get a kill with Cryosthesia, proccing the freeze shot, then you get a finisher kill, picking up the Arc Elemental Wells to proc Well of Ions, then you yeet your grenade at the champion to activate Withering Heat, freeze it with Cryosthesia, and then shoulder charge it with your Greaves, and then that is the overkill version. That's the build I primarily use. Then version D, the last version, is when you get a finisher kill, picking up the Arc Elemental Wells to proc the buff, then get a kill with Cryosthesia, to then freeze the champion, and then shoulder charge it with Greaves to kill it. And then that is all the versions. So which version is the best? Well, that depends on you. If you want to guarantee 100% you'll kill any champions without stunning them, then version B and C will be your go-to versions. Version D will also get the job done just as good. Version A can be effective and still work in some cases, but in some other cases, you may end up in a bad situation if you get lazy and the champion may actually survive. But with that said, that is it for the build. I'll have some Lost Sector gameplay for those of you that want to watch how this build performs. You should really give this build a spin. It's super strong. My name has been Super, Destiny Enthusiast, and I'll see y'all in the next build. Bye bye.